Patients with type 1 diabetes, we know, are currently still, despite advanced technology and use of that technology, still experience dysglycemia and insulin resistance. This still remains suboptimal and largely has not moved over time, although it's at least not deteriorating. And attempts to improve glycemic control typically increase insulin and also increase the risk for obesity. At least large randomized controlled trials like the DCC and ILIC show that. Lower carbohydrate intake is associated with improved glycemic control and lower insulin load, but despite what we expected, it didn't actually seem to change plasma lipids. And interestingly, 100% of the studies in the carbohydrate intake less than 10% reported an HbA1c within target range. That's incredibly important to appreciate, as it has been this elusive goal that has been not really hit by most of the technologies out there in these longer, more randomized controlled trials. Keep in mind, and it's important to discuss, that a lot of these studies on the very low carbohydrate end there was much less randomized controlled trials. It's not like the same evidence is equivalent across the board here. There are way less studies on the very low carbohydrate end. I think there's around 3 times as many on moderate carbohydrate and high carbohydrate end compared to even low or very low carbohydrate diet. So there's a really absence of data, although we were able to pull a number of studies. I think there were 17 reports from the very low carbohydrate diet. We don't have these long-term randomized controlled trials which really control all these other variables to really isolate out, is this a key modulatory factor in type 1 diabetes? So we're really at the start, in my opinion, of really understanding the place that these diets have. Although if you go on the internet, you can see that many patients are doing this dietary strategy today, and it's one of the most popular dietary strategies. Frankly, if you look at Google Trends over the last 5 years, it's the most popular diet in the context of type 1 diabetes. That said, I think it's important that we continue this discussion and continue to do research in this domain to better understand it.